Yes, Johnny. Thank you, Ed. More power, more power to the people. Fight the power. Fight the power that be. Boom, boom, boom. Well, how you all doing, my social media family? You know, being, my own personal famo, peeps and folks. Any persons among yourselves, from my subscribers to visitors alike, who are, is, or be, whatever I have said, and be I speaking correct, proper standard English grammar of American dialect, with all of some us to be possibly considered of our own adopted native tongue or not. Yes, how are you all doing? Being persons among yourself, from my subscribers to visitors alike, or visitors even so, although any visitors would not get the same props as any subscribers. I mean, you got to recognize and realize, whereas that is a no-brainer as in self-explanatory, at least not until any more were to subscribe to my own particular personal YouTube social media channel. It's like one of them Jewish, whatchamacallits, or my other race of people's persons. Caucasians and whites, who are the cousins to the Black Hebrew Israelites. And don't pay this so much as any man of rather compulsive physical gestures and trying to straighten this out. Yes, how are you all doing? Then, for that matter, how are any of your loved ones, being of any some or such relatives or family members and friends of your many different immediate personal family households? Then, hopefully, any of you could possibly be considered to have become or be of my own extended household family. In West Philadelphia, I was born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days relaxing and be balling. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight. My mom got scared and she said, "You're moving with your cousins in Bel Air." And the life you save may be your own. You know what I'm saying? You all, you know what I mean? Anyway, though, you all, yeah, stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like we say, may be on. You don't want to run into any characters the likes of these here, you know. Okay? And it's the truth. Gotta recognize and realize. You know, not that all are bad. It's good and bad in all races. Then they is like thirsty or hungry out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby. Tell me about it. Ain't it the truth? Yeah. It ain't no joke. That beast is hungry out there in the street. It's hungry in here. The evil one with his minions. You know, the Prince of Darkness. A certain neighbor from down hell. Hungry, man. Hungry, ladies and gents. Again, I'm speaking of hungry. Check it out, y'all. Yeah, well, getting some grub sometime at a local eatery. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, maybe you may want to check this one out here. Yeah. Or that some such a given moment in time. This is one of their flyers that I got. Yeah. Now that I gotten the preliminaries out of the way, then let me just get to the present social media broadcast as we have it, being of some such, video content material for that or some such a given moment in time. And as it would be of some such a nature, to be possibly considered from that being my own personal views and opinions or point of view or perspective and narrative, And as it is involving, dealing with, or regarding, making reference to how certain ones of those particular foreigners to be possibly considered, the very same ones who had made up or make up the majority or most the undocumented workers, aka illegal migrants, being of the Venezuelans, and they are the same as said in question, aforementioned, who had received per individual person of a Venezuelan upon an annual monthly basis for the last 4 years, not only $20,000 in food stamp benefits upon an annual monthly basis for the last 4 years, but then likewise $5,000 in some of such cash benefits for each individual Venezuelan person upon an annual monthly basis for the last 4 calendar years, compliments of the former Biden political government administration or presidency of the Dixiecrat Democrat Party, the Dixie KKK political party. And whereas the same Venezuelans, for the likes of their kind, who make up a great percentage of, the rank and file of the criminal riff-raff of social rejects of dinosaur-turd characters of usual suspects and our public enemy number ones, be moonlighting as drug pushers and are dope dealers, whereas they had taken the liberty to, attempt to enter our own country to hit the mainland with the many different illegal contraband of drugs, substances, of qualities and quantities of the different sorts or types with the different names a number of times. And whereas a few of those times they were caught by, what was that, U.S. Border Patrol or the U.S. Coast Guard or U.S. Customs agents. As a matter of fact, the U-boat submarines that they were attempting to transport some of such illegal contraband of drugs, substances, of quality and quantity into the USA, the United States of America, for our own democratic republic of democracy, whereas they was blown out of the water by members of the law enforcement community for the Americas, for our own democratic republic or democracy of the USA, or by American law enforcement officials, or by the likes of U.S. military personnel and police officers. Well, when you do the crime, it comes with that territory of severe consequences, Whereas unfortunately, they didn't get a chance to be taken into custody, apprehended, or arrested, then because they were resisting arrest, and therefore they took it to an all new level and got blown to smithereens like the Zeppelin blimp, They got shot out of the water. They got the U-2 submarine had gotten blown up with all this drugs, substances of illegal contraband, as well as they themselves as dinosaur-turd riff-raff, being other rank and file criminal elements of society, of usual suspects, public enemy number ones. Public enemy number one are hardcore criminals of the likes of drug pushers and dope dealers and rapists and pedophiles and pickpocketers and purse snatchers and forgers of checks, etc. I mean, they should have listened to reason. Just throw up their hands. Then they'd be alive today. Those particular ones are Venezuelans, or drug traffickers. You know what I'm saying? They should just put their hands up. If your feet dance and pull up your pants and throw the rock away, and then lean back. Boom, 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 boom. Bad boy, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Don't shoot. Yeah, they had them dookie-shoes of Venezuelan criminal riff-raff dinosaur turds of caveman character. They had all that dookie caked up on the bottom of their dookie shoes, ripping and running, drug trafficking. And then they put it on their U-boat submarines and try to transport that stuff of many different illegal contraband of drug substances of quality and quantities of different kinds, sorts, or types by different names into the USA, and they got bitch slapped by U.S. Customs officials, by the U.S. Coast Guard, and then some, maybe by ICE for that matter. Immigrant customs enforcement agents. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can't be like coming through here with all that. Take that on back on over there. We don't want that. Especially that fentanyl that is, dropping people, a person like flies, like dropping like high. Woo! Boom, boom, boom. Dropping it like a high, man. And I know those damn morticians and funeral parlor owners are happy as a clam, because that's where they make their most money, being of the results of developments of, like drug pushers and dope dealers having shootouts with the police or cops and detectives, in the military, and then be popped and dropped, before they can really hop and get away from the scene of the crime, toss their illegal contraband of different drug substances. Though, on the other hand, some of them get caught and be sent to the can or the crazy house or the both of them camps, I recognize them, realize it ain't no joke. Sis out here, and that beast is hungry as a mug, as I was saying. But then on the last note of interest, I'd like to say, in conclusion, I will share with you all the gospel message of our Lord and Savior Christ. If any of you have not as yet accepted him as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your vein, by recognizing or realizing what he himself had done with whatever I have said and stated for the record. Upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, as he was nailed there by Roman soldiers upon the orders of their superiors, being a more or main or mostly religious Pharisees and Sadducees, but then nevertheless he went to that cross of Calvary and fulfilled biblical prophecy, become a perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. Don't steal my trademark, physical judgment, not have copyrights in town. That's the only whiskey being played by. Whereas if any of us, regardless of race, walk of life, gender, age, and set of word to profess faith in them, will never become and be blessed in one God or another, more always one. First and foremost, with his salvation, which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly become citizens of the kingdom of heaven, and as his blood sacrifice of salvation is the only fire insurance against the fire of damn hell. Then second of all, we're blessed with his deliverance. But first you have got to get his salvation, otherwise you have nothing coming so far as blessing is concerned. If you make that transition for the great beyond and you don't have it for the hereafter, afterlife, your final destination will become the lake of fire down hell, where you will be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, lost down human souls, unbelievers, be tortured and terrorized by the devil and the demons, and be burning forever in the lake of fire down hell, compared to how we as believing God will be becoming a like-minded believing present God and his angels, even so be blessed down here upon the earth, and hopefully become a blessing unto others by sharing with the gospel message of salvation. God take care of y'all. Peace.